Well, here it is, the ultimate driving machine. Oh wait, that's BMW. But we've acquired a little Mini as a project car. Has a few problems. We're going to video each one of them. It's a 2003 Mini. It is not the S model. It is not supercharged or turbocharged. Okay, we're in here in the Mini Cooper project. And we have a bit of a water intrusion problem. It's raining outside. You can see the water on the windshield and stuff. The headliner here is sagging because of water intrusion. You can see that it's wet. You can see a drip forming there. And you can see a drip down on the tachometer. That's not good. And water here on the dash. There's also water over here. Let's go take a look at that with the door open. On a stupid little side note, here's something I find really annoying with Mini Coopers. My pant leg always snags on that lever there. It gets really annoying every time I get in and out of them. Some water down here. Seems to be coming from in here. Well, that's all just as dry as could be. There's a little drip right on the edge of the dash there. There. So it's coming from there. This is the full sunroof car. It's got a sunroof there and a sunroof there. Really cool feature. I love it. But obviously probably sunroof drains. I don't know if you can see how wet that is, but it's soaked. That sucks. It's going to rust the car out. We'll try and figure out what's causing this. Probably sunroof drains. Well, we finally got a chance to work on this leaky sunroof drains, I would assume, or water intrusion problem, I guess is what I should call it. The headliner here has sagged down from being wet, and you know, water drips off of it. I think I showed that to you in the other video. And we're going to try and pull these covers off, but let's get started on it. Can't be afraid, you just got to dive in sometime. It's always a pain taking apart something you've never taken apart before, because you don't know exactly how it comes apart. You're always worried about breaking something. That's why YouTube videos are fantastic, because you can learn about something that you haven't done. Well, there's two things apart. One thing I do need to say about a big project like this is, if you're taking stuff apart, be very organized with the fasteners that you take apart, because if you lose them, you spend more time hunting for them than it's worth. It just ends up with a poor quality job when you're done if you ain't got the right fasteners, or they don't end up in the right spot. So there's a wire on it. Probably unplugs up above the headliner. That might be a plug-in inside that loom covering. Yeah, it looks like they There's a plug-in inside the loom covering. Can't start my day without Quick Trip Select Blend coffee. Now I'm ready for the day. Hear that, Quick Trip? Ready to be a sponsor? I don't know how much of that you could actually see in this video, but I took the tape off. You can definitely see a connector. I should probably pull this rubber off first. That way I can get my hands behind this plastic here. Well, that comes out rather easily. I was able to get the side pillar out of its latch by flexing this backwards, getting into to that latch right there with a tool like this, and then twisting, and it popped apart. Did not break it, but there is a retainer here, and it's like a little cable that retains this piece, and I would assume, because it has an airbag inside there, that's trying to retain this piece so it don't fly into your face if the airbag ever explodes. Now I'm pretty sure that latch will just come out with the retaining clip. Well, I can't do it one-handed though. So to release the little cable, these slots are large at one side and small at the other. You simply push them up and they pop right out. Remove this mirror, give it a twist, and then pull down. It sounds like it broke, but it didn't. It's made to do that. And then the little clock pod just pulls off. The trim around the panoramic sunroof, it's flat, it's a little bit flexible, and you just pull it away from this side, it latches here, and over here you pull it away from this side because it latches here, and on the other side you pull it away, and lastly you pull it away from back here. Okay, I'm kind of getting to where I can see the sunroof drain now. Let's see if we can see our problem here. Not with no light in there. See the metal tube and the drain completely disconnected from the tube? That's going to cause some water to come in. And I bet you the other side's the same way. I'm not going to video taking this side apart because it's obviously the exact same as the other side. So we'll see you when we get the other side apart. So of course this side has the same problem. The accordion tube has come off of the metal pipe. I find it very strange that both of them are off that way. Maybe this car was worked on. Somebody left them off. Don't know. Doesn't really matter though. I'll put a zip strip on there to hold them in place. But I think we can definitely fix the water intrusion problem. The B-pillar trim here, you can't pull it loose from the top. It has what I call a fold over, meaning a protrusion that folds into a hole, and so it ain't going to come out because of that fold over. You have to pop the lower trim panel loose here. You can reach in there with your You can reach in there with a trim tool, turn it sideways and pop that out. And there's another one down here. You can reach in there, pop it out after you pull your trim loose, or your rubber weather strip away. So you might also need to break it loose here with that clip and that yellow push lock connector. Same thing over here, and that'll get you some clearance to where you can get this out and hopefully see the screw right there. Just barely able to get to it. I'll have to take it out with a stubby Phillips. In order to get this piece out, you have to flex this outwards quite a bit. Flex this out and then come down enough to get this piece out of this hole. In the meantime, you have to pull it out because there's hardware that goes inside here in order to let this adjust up and down, working from this button here. So you have to come outwards enough, flexing this panel outward enough to get it to come out of here, and then come down in order to get this fold over out of this hole. That comes out real easy if you do it right. While I'm on this side, me sitting in the back seat of a Cooper, I'm a 250-pound, 6'1" man. That's a tight fit. While I'm back here, I'm going to get this off here, and then there's 2 Phillips screws. Don't need to video that. If you don't know how to take out a Phillips screw, there's a problem. This trim panel is very similar to the front. It's very flexible. You just pull it away from its mating edge and it comes away. It's just hooked in. Flex it just a little bit, being real careful, and then pull it away from the last edge. It comes out nice. Not a bad design there, I guess. Dome lights next. Another easy part to the job here. Pop the clear lens out. I did it on the opposite side of the button here. Hey. When I do this, the dome light lights up everywhere else, but doesn't light up here. I might need a bulb, I guess. And then a couple Phillips screws. Don't need to video that. I thought this might be worth videoing. These connectors here, how to unplug them. They have a little window in the connector. You probably can't see it in the video. Let me zoom in just a little more. Okay, there's a little window. Just by window, I just mean a hole. A hole in there, and you can push the release button inside there, and you can even get underneath it and pry it outwards, and it unconnects. There are a lot of Volkswagen connectors that are like that. Maybe I should say a lot of German connectors that are like that. To get the C-pillar out, need the rubber off first. That gives you the access to get your hands behind it. There we go. And you get a little pull, and that pop there was the first piece coming out. There's a second one in there, and it's got a strap on it, similar to the ones that were on the A-pillar. Don't go full gorilla on it, just pop the plastic tab out of its retainer. At that point you have to get the strap out. which is held in by the little clip. Inside of there is a, you can see the first tab that I popped out easily. And back there you can see the black strap with the pink threads on it. That's what I'm trying to release now. When you have it out this far, you may be able to go ahead and remove the headliner. We have it out this far, you might be able to go ahead and work the headliner out of it by bending and flexing. But I'm doing this by myself, so I kind of want to get at least one of these out to where it's easier to maneuver the headliner out. You know, if you go to a upholstery shop, I almost guarantee you they'd cut these. They probably wouldn't know what they were dealing with. They'd cut them, and then when your airbag deployed, this would be flying into your passenger's face. Be a lawsuit waiting to happen, so make sure you use a quality shop that cares about you and your car and wants to do things right. The only reason I say that is because I thought about cutting it. This is my own car, it's a project car, so I certainly could do that if I wanted to, but that ain't the kind of work I put out. I want everything to be as close to original as possible. But as you can see, I'm really struggling. It's getting a little frustrating. Seems really tight along this edge. I don't understand what's holding it there. Is it glued into place? Seems to kind of be glued against the window. Yes, I think it is glued against the window. Or the metal piece above it. To remove this piece, you just put a little pressure inwards on it. Pops out pretty easy. Let me get that dirty because I don't want to have to recover that with the headliner. And then to get this out, you just want to release these tabs one at a time, holding downward pressure on it. And this thing and its little brother above it, its twin brother, just sandwiched the headliner. I'm back on a C-pillar because I don't think the headliner is going to come out with one man. Really need at least one of these to come out of here. I'm going to give you guys a view of what I'm working on here. That's what I'm working on. You can see the black strap with the pink lacing on it. It's connected to the clip that retains the plastic tab into the body of the car. And that metal clip is inside that hole and it's latched in there. And I can't figure out. That guy right there was a bear. The little strap connected to that clip goes in the oblong hole there, and that clip would not come out of the hole. One last little bit. This should probably be the last thing you take out and the first thing you put in, because you're going back together. And my tool ain't gonna fit it. Lovely. There we go. Seen these called fuzzy buttons or Christmas tree fasteners or rivets, but on this style you pull the inner part out. This would be very much like a rivet, and then you see the headliner came down. Okay, you want to take the headrests out. You want to get the B pillars down and out of the way. And you have a slide that seats into this, and then it comes down, and it's still pretty tight to get out. You have to flex it a lot in the middle in order to get it out, but it comes out. And here it is right here, and it flexed right in the middle here and here and there. See, there's no significant damage, and after you recover it, I don't think it will be visible. Can see evidence of the crease in the board here, but I think it survived it just fine. Oh, in case you didn't see, I'm working on a tank. Headliner's leaned up against the tank. It's actually a reproduction armored car from World War II from Germany. Now, of course, let's get back to our original repair, our original problem. Here's our sunroof drain. Nothing significantly wrong with it. We'll put it on here, and we'll put a zip strip, wire tie type clamp around both edges to keep it on there. And I just don't see how that could come off in normal driving. Might not fit tight enough. I worry about it leaking, so I probably will put a zip strip on it for a clamp. Of course, the other side's off also. How inconvenient. And we'll test it out by pouring water in the sunroof channel to make sure it goes out where it's supposed to. These little tubes, I kind of would like to replace them, but the dealership said there's none in the country, and they're so it'd be 2 weeks, plus they're like $20–30 a piece. That just ain't an option. I got the car apart and it needs to go back together. I ain't gonna wait 2 weeks for something like this. There was some on the internet, but I don't know if they're really available or not. They're listed there. There's none on eBay. So I think the best thing here is to clean them real good with some brake clean, and then glue them in place, and then put a zip strip around them. I'm gonna spray some brake clean on a shop towel, clean the tubes off real good so the glue will stick. I love this stuff. It's called Amazing Goop. It's good glue. I glue windows in place with it. Volkswagen windows. They have the problem when they freeze. When they freeze, they will, and the owner tries to roll the window down when it's frozen, it will break it'll pull the window out of the rubber that holds it in place. So this stuff glues the rubber in place really well. I figure it'll work good here. So with some glue in the hole, put it in. Okay, we're all done with the sunroof drain repair with a new headliner installed by us, and it looks fantastic. Very proud of the way this one turned out. We have no broken lock tabs, no screws out of place, no missing screws when we were done. Every screw back in its hole. Just a beautiful job here. And of course here is where our problem was. This looks lovely. I'm sure you can't see it in the video, but better do that. But it turned out lovely, and I have high standards. I hate taking stuff to the upholstery shop because the that work there just don't really care. They don't have high quality standards, that's for sure.